Speaking of someone who I'm a fan of, and I think you probably would be too.
Okay.
Did you know that David Attenborough has been paid
fan.
by the BBC to record every single word before he dies? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so
they can make like a Siri.
So since his health, fuck me, since his health began to decline in 2017, the BBC have been intermittently working with Attenborough to record every word in the English and Latin languages with up to 10 different inflections in order to create an AI-based voice generator to mimic the famous British naturalist after he passes.
Wow.
So while many think the mantle of like nature documentary narrator should be passed on to someone else after he dies, with candidates such as Barack Obama and Benedict Cumberbatch as the frontrunners.
Sure.
The overwhelming majority has been in support of preserving one of the world's most important natural wonders, so David Attenborough's voice.
Yeah. It's not though.
But it is. Could you imagine?
But it's not.
But can you imagine watching?
But like, it's cool thinking that David's, he's aligned himself with, the whole point of David Attenborough is he would only align himself with certain brands. So, it's going to be high quality. He's talking on the mic, he's presenting. If it's just a computer generated thing, then anyone could.
But I think since the dawn of basically like TV documentaries and nature documentaries in like a global way, he's been the voice.
Yeah, but I'm saying
he's so old. He's like
I know that, but I'm saying this isn't his voice. It's just a computer that's used his voice and he's dead, which is kind of. I would rather have Benedict Cumberbatch do it or someone who's alive.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like it's more warmth.
I think there's something cool about it.
It is cool, but it's not.
There's also an argument to say that like it's a bit weird.
When do you watch a nature documentary? Like my mum will be like, she's tired. She takes an afternoon. She lies on the couch. She watches it to relax and wind down. And
When
it's
you're
nice
hungover.
and makes you feel good. But if it's a freaking computer speaking, it's like,
Well, it's not really because he's doing every single word in both languages with 10 different inflections. So they can
still a
basically
computer.
like, well,
he's not speaking it.
well, I mean, but sooner or later, the line between like computer and AI and human is going to be pretty blurred anyway. With like deep fakes, they could probably have him anyway. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying, but
Let's get someone else in.
yeah. But is it true?
Yeah.
It's 100% bullshit.
No way. Oh my God. We were talking about this thing the whole time.
Got him. Straight out the gates. Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
You made up the whole thing?
Yeah.
No, I reckon there's like an element of, you saw like theories or something.
No. I was trying to research it. Some like random like software people have like tried to create an AI that replicates his voice, but it sounds shit. And
I was about to say, you can't get the rhythm and everything.
No,
Like,
it sounds.
and then he went to the, All right. Well, fair play.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you know there's a brain condition that gives you uncontrollable urge to be sarcastic at everything you do?
Okay.
So if you've damaged the right frontal lobe of your brain, you can develop immer sarcascher, which in German stands for always sarcastic.
Okay.
The condition causes a compulsive need to be constantly sarcastic, even in serious moments when it would be considered inappropriate.
Okay. So it's kind of like Tourette's, but for sarcasm.
Yes.
I reckon it's bullshit.
Let me keep going.
Okay.
Part 2. One theory is many people are born exiting the womb with their right head facing down and will often bang their head very softly when being born. People believe these small bangs this early in your life are enough to cause micro damage to the head, leading to immer sarcastic, meaning lots of people around the world could have this like really kind of minor disease not disease, medical condition.
So those dickhead friends that you have that are like always sarcastic.
Yeah.
Got hit on the head as a baby.
Yeah.
100% bullshit.
You think it's 100% bullshit?
Yeah.
It is 100% bullshit.
Yes, it is.
However,
Oh.
I took this from an existing condition.
Okay.
Imagine everything I said is true, but the ability to make puns.
No.
True.
No.
I swear to God.
No.
Let me bring it up.
So there's a medical ailment.
There's a brain condition that gives you an uncontrollable urge to make puns. If you've damaged the right frontal lobe of your brain, you can develop Witchstarlacht, which is German for joke addiction. The condition causes a compulsive need to constantly make up or tell jokes, even in the middle of the night or during an important interview. And that's 100% true.
And do you think it's why dads or like men always do these like dad jokes at the worst moments? I know I do it. Like
Right. I think that's
not
just
that
them
I'm a dad, but it's just like
I think that's them trying to alleviate a bit of tension.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a way of dealing with like a heightened emotional situations. You try to like cut the tension with a pun.
But there's a difference between a medical condition and like that's an actual medical condition.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's damaged the right frontal lobe. Like I don't think those men have damaged.
So you have to make a pun every time.
Well, no, not like that. Not that literal, but apparently it's true. So there you go.
That is
two-parter.
That is amazing.
I thought I'd manipulate it to be sarcasm because I thought that was funnier.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't think like it's too crazy.
Yeah.
But the puns, there you go.
There you go. That's a good one. Alrighty. Speaking of a brain thing.
Nice.
Eh? All right.
Flawless.
Did you know that woodpeckers wrap their tongue around their brain while they're pecking to protect the brain from brain damage?
I actually did know this.
Yeah.
I came across this while researching for jokes.
How good?
I mean, not jokes, stories.
Like
yeah,
stories.
Yeah, like when they're not using it because it's so long,
Yeah.
it wraps around their brain to fit somewhere.
That's insane.
That's disgusting, but also
But
really
it's also
cool.
very cool.
So how long is it? It must be like so long.
Well, they've got a beak, so it's like as long enough to be like, well, this is going to be a terrible description, but yeah, it's long enough so that it literally wraps around to the top of the brain and then cushions it while they're pecking. It is true. It's actually a submission from Liam Schicker.
There you go.
There you go.
Speaking of,
Fan submission?
nope, got nothing.
Okay. All right.
Did you know that detoxes are a scam?
Detoxes are a scam. Okay.
Body detox or cleansing products don't work. It's just a marketing tactic.
Okay.
There is no scientific or medical evidence to support any of the claims made by juices, teas, shakes, ionic foot pads, or other products that promise to remove toxins from the body. Aside from that, your body already has a built-in detox system where your liver, kidneys, skin, and other natural defenses do the job on their own.
True.
Usually, it is just the fact that the juices have fruit, vegetables, and vitamins in them, which are good for you and make you feel better.
Yeah. Interesting. Because part of it is like this half like starvation thing where you're causing your body to go into starvation mode, which like is supposedly good for you.
This is more like juices and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I reckon it's true. I reckon you end up just consuming less calories and more nutrients so you feel better.
so you think the detoxing process is actually beneficial, but the literal promises and the marketing of
Yeah,
the
it's total bullshit.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So they are bullshit. It is true.
So you are correct. The
Yes.
story is true.
Yeah,
They are
nice.
just marketing tactics. But if you sign up to a cleansing plan and therefore you only have 3 juices a day
And it works.
and it works, that's not because the juices are detoxifying you. It's because you're eating less and probably consuming, you
and
know,
you're less bloated, less inflamed. Like,
And look, we're just talking our arse here. This is just us kind of going.
no, this is
our
medical
theories.
advice.
No, this is our theories.
bona fide medical advice.
But I mean, look, some people might disagree with what this statement, but based on the research I've seen,
yeah.
some people say science backs it up, but like they can't back up the science.
Well, it's like that intermittent fasting thing. A lot of people think it's just that you consume less calories because you're basically just skipping a meal.
Yeah.
And it's hard to catch up on those calories later in the day.
Do you know the origin of like intermittent fasting?
No.
So I don't know if this is the origin, but do you know Dave Asprey?
No.
So he's worth I think he's worth over $1 billion now, but he started a company called like Bullet Coffee. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, bulletproof coffee.
Yeah, so people partner intermittent fasting with that. So they have this coffee instead of breakfast, and the
Yeah.
coffee's full of fat and stuff, which goes.
I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how he started that was he was in a country, I can't remember, like Nepal or something, and he was climbing like a mountain, and he came across the locals who created this type of coffee, and he was like, "Wow, this is amazing!" And he kind of started he started doing it, and he started using it, and he realized how cool this was. He literally just took that and basically leveraged capitalism and marketing in America and blew it up, and now it's become a huge brand.
White man capitalism.
There you
Just
go.
Take something that someone else has created.
Take traditional
Yeah.
medicine and creations from thousands of years
Yeah.
and monetize it.
There you go. But I feel best on a day when I have no breakfast. I just have a black coffee in the morning, and then I have like lunch around 11 or 12 o'clock.
And that's something we're getting like driven young here. Like it's good to experiment with your body so you can figure out what works for you. I
Totally.
think, especially in your 20s when you're young, it's like just try this. Try going vegetarian for a few weeks. Try going vegan. Try doing all these different things.
Yeah.
What works for you? Because there is no one size fits
So
all.
chase fad diets is what Byron's trying to tell you.
Chase fad diets and see which one works for you.
So did you know, speaking of things that are popular, did you know Paris Hilton's mum taught her how to be great in bed while she was a teenager?
No way. Actually, that sounds true.
So from the book The House of Hilton, it says Kathy Hilton instructed her daughters to adhere to a life philosophy of marrying rich and having lots of babies with rich men.
Disgusting.
Paris's grandmother had asked a young man to teach her mum in his van outside the house, and then those lessons were then passed down to Paris. She said she wanted her to know all about sex, how to perform sex, literally the best way possible.
I'm going to believe this.
Yeah, you think it's true? This story is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds something like she would do.
But
and like
horrifying.
that. Horrifying. I mean, that whole world of like, I just hate that belief. Like you should marry rich, be good, but like you're literally living your entire life to please a man. Like you're
Does
not
it
in
upset
control.
you because you're not rich?
No, it upsets me because, isn't she like a...
What? I mean, she's the heiress of the Hilton family
Right,
who own the hotel, so like she's fine.
Yeah.
But,
Then what's the desire for her mother to have a daughter marry rich when they're already rich?
Well, I'm assuming her mother married the
Yeah, but she's done the hard work. Now,
Yeah, true.
now her daughter can
True.
marry who she loves without the downside of...
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it works for you, then it might work for your kids.
All right. Well, not speaking of anything because I can't link it. Did you know you actually cannot sink in quicksand?
Okay.
So while it's easy to get stuck
What?
and hard to get out of, it's
Yeah.
impossible to sink because it acts as a fluid twice as heavy as water and you aren't dense enough to go under. It liquefies the more you disturb it. So as long as you don't panic, you'll only sink to about half your body length.
Yeah.
But through movies that we've grown up watching,
Yeah.
quicksand seems to be something that we should all be scared of and you can drown and like sink in it. But it's actually impossible.
See, I always like grew up thinking it's the most terrifying
Yeah,
way to
like
die.
Indiana Jones sort of thing.
But are you saying that it's impossible to like drown or get sucked into it, or are you saying that if you stop moving,
no, it's
fine?
impossible.
Why?
Because I just explained, like,
Because
you just can't sink any further.
the buoyancy of your body will keep you afloat.
You'll only be able to sink about half your body length.
Right. Could you get out though?
They said you can get out, but it's still difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're not going to like just slowly go under and your hands grabbing onto it as a rope comes in.
As it just sucks you down
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the earth. Yeah.
I really thought quicksand would be more of an inconvenience in my life
true.
growing up, and
True.
I'm yet to encounter it.
I reckon this story is true.
Completely true.
There you
Yes.
go.
There you go.
There you go.
Quicksand.
I mean, it's kind of disappointing, but also like, yeah.
Comforting.
I'm out of stories for today.
I got one more.
Okay.
It's a good one. I don't know if you know this or not. So, did you know that during the first ever live iPhone demo, Steve Jobs was secretly switching phones because they couldn't even play a song without crashing? Their displays were rigged to show 5 bars of signal strength, and he had to use a portable cell tower just so that it would seem reliable enough to make calls.
Yeah.
One little mistake could have ruined the entire presentation, but Jobs got through it flawlessly, and the iPhone was a hit before it even worked.
Okay. Well, this wouldn't surprise me. Do you remember the Cybertruck demonstration?
Oh, yeah,
Elon
yeah.
Musk? Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a total shit show.
Yeah.
Um,
But that was like, that happened on stage. This was like only revealed like 10 years after.
right.
So it's not like a marketing strategy.
Do I think yeah, I reckon that's true.
You reckon it's true?
That sounds true.
It's actually completely true.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So it was basically just like a prototype that basically didn't
I think
work,
his logic was, look, it's going to do all this. We need a little bit more time,
but we have to.
but we have to do this show. We have to announce it
some
now.
hype.
Yeah, get some hype.
Yeah.
So they just figured out a way around it. And I guess, what are the ethics behind that? It doesn't bother me. I mean, he delivered on what they promised.
Sure.
So it's like, does it really matter?
Well, it's like that thing we were listening to the other day. The woman who developed that blood
Yes.
testing.
Emily,
Warren? No, that's the politician. But she developed this machine that would test your blood just from a pinprick on
Yeah.
your finger,
and it could like identify.
and it could test you for like diseases, like malnutrition in
Yeah.
like real time.
which would have changed the world because it means you wouldn't have to draw blood, go through the whole process.
Yeah, but it was a total hoax.
Yeah,
She had like a $10 billion valuation on her company.
Yeah. And now she's
and
in
it was a
prison.
total fraud.
Good story.
Yeah.
Great story.